What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? It is not looking good. As you guys can see from the back here, it's looking like a red day today as we start getting here towards the dark side. So just be careful out there, team. Looks like a little bit of a pullback here towards the close. And of course, we got the Russell rebalance today, so get ready. I think we're going to see some fireworks here. Like always, guys, smash the like out there. If you guys are excited for this show, let me know in the chat. Put a like. Let me know what stock was your trade, top trade of the day. Definitely want to get into the action. All right, so I do want to let you guys know. For the Moo account, I did get stopped out, but I want to show you guys a little bit for the prop account here. So I'm going to put it pretty big here. Let me go ahead and fix this layout a little bit here so you guys can see it as big as it is. All right, so you guys here, guys, balancing back here. Battling here. Took a nice trade just recently on Intel. Haven't taken part in this SQQQ move, but I had a nice little trade there on Intel. I'll show you guys that right now. I'll rewind a little bit here so you guys can see it. Let's go to the 5-minute here so you can see it a little bit better. So I got this off of a kind of trend line break. It wasn't too bad of a trade today. I'll show you guys exactly what I was looking at. So you can see how kind of this line and trend was coming towards a break here of this pattern. So as soon as I got close to that, I took a little bit of a shot here. I had 300 shares at 32.69, another 150 there at 66, then selling them up there towards 33, and then back towards kind of, let's say, it's going to be 32.99. But now it's pulling back here. And so I was thinking, do I get back into this trade? Are we going to see the Qs just kind of wipe out here? We did do a really fast move to the downside. So I feel like we got to be a little bit careful today. We could see more continued downside in this market. So just watch out there, team. What's going on out there, Coyote? Nice sunglasses. Let's rock it, baby. What you got today? All right, let's get to the action here. IWM hitting the lows. That's not looking good there, as we're seeing a lot of these stocks getting really wrecked today. Let's take a look here at what's doing bad here. Sam, Boston Beer, taking a big beating here. So I'm just going through names in the IWM that got hit the hardest today. Let's go to the chain from the open. Let's go down here, names that got hit the hardest in the IWM. So I'm just going through some of these names, Cassie, and let's put this on a daily perspective, right? So you guys can at least see how the daily kind of turned around there. And you can really start seeing that some of these names are really smaller names, right? They're falling here. So we got to be careful. There's a lot of names in the red today in the IWM, definitely dragging it down here. So we'll see what happens here towards the close, but it's not looking good here as we're starting to see the IWM turn around. And there's not many names in the green, right? I can go through all the Russell 2000 here. I'm not going to go through all that, but let's keep going. Let's see what else. Let's see what actually did good, right? What's doing well today? So you got SIEN having a decent day, a $2 stock making a little bit move higher. You got a 350 here. So there's some smaller names starting to get a little bit of a lift. Let's go to some names that maybe we might know, like Smith & Wesson. This reported earnings today, and look at the rip out at the gates there. Nice little move higher on Smith & Wesson. We'll see what happens there. METC, a coal stock that I know of, getting a nice little lift today. We'll see what happens to these names if they can continue moving higher. Is that the Groupon? Yeah, Groupon getting a little bit of a lift today. Not really names that, I trade all the time, but something that I'd keep an eye out on. I do see Generac back up, and that's an interesting name as it came back down yesterday. Now getting a little bit of a lift. Can this one go higher? Something that I'd keep an eye out for. Let's talk a little bit about the swing trade action today. I did get stopped out in AbbVie. So we were talking about this yesterday. I was taking a look at this to see if we were going to get back above the 140s, but wanted to stop out if we were going to crack through our levels today. So I got out of this one at 136.94. Wanted to hold off of pretty much 137 to see if we could make that move towards like 140. But this one did not hold, so took a loser on this one. Still got about 4 positions left. We also took yesterday BJ. So this one's actually in the green and starting to go in my direction. So I'm going to continue to watch to see if BJ can hold here and keep lifting. Of course, why I took this one is because I started seeing Walmart have a nice move as a recent and Costco have a nice move. So I thought, BJ's could get a lift after declining for a good while now and kind of going sideways here. I'll look to see if I can make a move to 64. That's really the first stop to take some profits on this one. I'm up from 61.91s now to 62.54s. So it's not the biggest move. I need to start getting it through 63, up there close to 64, and then I can take my money and run. We'll see what happens there. You guys smash the like out there if you guys are enjoying the show, and hit the like. And always let me know what stock you want to talk about in the chat. I'll definitely take a look. All right, let's go to some other action. How do I become an investor in the Pelosi Capital? Well, you heard my show, and you guys saw the title. Let's talk a little bit about that Pelosi trade, right? We can take a look at that. I got no problem. Let's finish up at least the trade talk here for the swings. Of course, the last two positions that I have are some oil positions, and they're working in my favor. We're almost towards the profit. We finally broke the 102 mark. We're almost to the daily lows here, where the last low we had was 101.26. Today we go to 101.62. I'm looking that maybe after this weekend, we could crack 101, getting close to that 100. And of course, I've been holding Exxon short from 108.42. So we're talking all the way up here, team. So it's been a good position. It's been a nice ride. I'm not going to be mad about this one at all. It's been about 14 days, 15 days, 2 weeks holding this position. So I can't be mad that the swing trade keeps going in my favor. Same thing for Chevron. You can see how it's trying to break through the lows. I could take all the profits in Chevron already. It cracked through the 150s earlier today. But you know what? I'm just trying to continue riding the trend and grinding higher. I even have stops set, but I have them stop all the way back at entry. Chevron, that's going to be 158.49. We're down there to 150. Look where 158 is. That's a pretty ways away from here. So let's see what happens with Chevron as I keep working them lower. And just to kind of mention on that ExxonMobil, I've only taken first profits. So I'm looking for a nice little profit on that one. Just got to continue to work it. Adobe, I still have a piece, and I kind of listened to what my man Joel Alconen said on PreMarket Prep this morning. And I said, you know what? For Adobe, I'm just going to leave that last little piece as a piece that I'll say, come and get me. Come and get me, because I'm leaving it there. We'll see what happens. Of course, I got in this at 489.34. We'll see if it comes back up and stops me out. Adobe bouncing up a little bit today. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other action. Sound flush. Ooh, doesn't look good there. CXAI was one that I was going to keep an eye out for. Not moving at all here. It doesn't look good for the AI names. Look at AI itself. I talked about it on PreMarket Prep. Did not impress yesterday with the investor presentation, and today just getting whacked lower there towards 32. This one might be done. Who knows? All right, let's keep going to some stocks. Of course, I did want to talk about the Pelosi news, so let's just get right to that. I'll bring you guys here the tweet from Benzinga so you guys can take a look at the action here. So let me go ahead and put this full screen here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's take a look here. So it looks like Nancy Pelosi taking a little bit of some call action here. Looks like exercise 50 call options in Apple and Microsoft. So keep your eyes on this, team. We'll see what happens here. As you guys can see, the filing here, 5,000 shares at a strike price of 80s with an expiration of 6/16. And that's for Apple here. And then you can see Microsoft taking a little bit of a bet. We'll see what happens, right? Expiration date of 6/16, of course, 23. We'll see if these can get a little bit of a lift. And I did see these stocks kind of push earlier. So we'll see what happens. Can they continue riding higher? We'll have to take a look at that. Let's take a look at these stocks, see how they're performing right now. So let's get back to the chart action here. Let's go to Apple and see how that's performed on the day. You guys can see it's trying to get through the all-time high. It's just hanging up here. It made a move there towards 187.50s. And you can see nice little move where we're finding some resistance. We got through it today. Can we close up there? We'll find out on Apple. It just keeps holding the trend and holding 9 EMA pullbacks. You can see this light blue line. Look at that move that we put in yesterday. Now we're looking to try to get back through those highs of 187.09. We'll look to see if we close up there. All right, Microsoft, you guys can see that's hanging out by a thread, but it's been hanging on the supporting trend line. Will this make a move to 350? Who knows? If the Qs could push another length, yeah, I could see this coming right back up here. So really right now, it's kind of the battle between the Bulls and the Bears. The Bulls still have control, and the Bears are trying to take it. Now, the only question is, can they take it, right? Take a look at the dailies here. What do you see here also? What do I see is I see a light blue EMA almost recovering. So if we can make a move back towards like 368, 370s, yeah, this could come right back up. So just because you're seeing the Qs pull back doesn't mean they're broken by any means. It's something that I'm watching, right? Are we going to close below that 9 EMA or above it? 9 EMA right now sitting around 363.08. We're at 362.84. Let's find out what happens there. All right, we'll keep watch on this. Of course, we can take a look at some of the biggest moves to the upside here in the Qs. Qs got some lift in some stocks. Of course, Adobe got a little lift. Ross going up a little bit. Meta getting a little bit of a lift. This is one that I don't want to step in front of. I was looking to see if maybe this would break. No, this just wants to hold on here. Eventually, Meta will turn around, but it's not the time right now. Workday getting a little bit of a move up here. I'm keeping my eye on this play just in case we can have another tech run. If we do have another tech run, I could see this one going higher. Nice little bull flag here on the daily. You can see it as clear as day right there. Will this bull flag get back up through the 225? Doesn't look too bad. This is one that I kind of like for AI mentions. Of course, anything to do with like kind of HR and things like that, definitely going to have AI coming in. All right, let's keep taking a look. I'll keep looking at stocks from you guys in the chat. What are your thoughts on Tesla going into next week? I like that question, Kevin. We could take a look at that. Let's go taking a look at Tesla, and then we'll go a little bit deeper into sector by sector to see what is doing well, what industries are doing well also. Because really, right now, it's pretty ugly out there. Let's get into the action here. Let's go taking a look at the Tesla Dragon. Of course, this thing hasn't wanted to turn around, but now we're getting a little bit of some red action. Will this fall off the tape here towards the end? We got another up move. So if you can see here on like kind of the 15-minute, we've kind of been rejecting here, and it looks like we want to come through the 253 on the downside. The only question is, will we crack that? Of course, we had a gap here that got filled, and then what did it do? It went through that level. So to tell you the truth, I'm going to go ahead and delete that level. It's not as important anymore. Now the only important level for me is kind of that 264, because this could have been a blow off top, but it can always come right back up pushing towards the 270. So we'll see if this actually breaks to the 253 and ever cracks through that 250 mark. I think that's going to be the vital spot if you want to see that continued downside in Tesla. We'll see what happens here towards the close. Let's go back to the SQQQs. They're starting to pull back here. And the chop continues, right? Qs right off the VWAP. They could recover here. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. So for Tesla, I'll just continue to say that 250 is going to be that point to watch. A recovery of like, let's say back towards 265, that could be the next move towards like 280s. But for right now, it's kind of on this sideways period, but trying to hold that 9 EMA, that light blue line, right? If it can hold that, especially and keep closing above it, it's still going to look good. If it closes below it, that's when I can start looking to see if Tesla is going to break. All right, I see a couple names mentioned here. I'm going to go through some sectors and industries, and then I'll make sure that I get through some of the stocks that you guys are mentioning in the chat. All right, let's take a look at technology. Technology pulling back today, but also not really breaking today. It wasn't as weak as everybody thought. It's been kind of a sideways day. That's what I would call it today. It's sideways. I know it looks red, but overall, it's kind of just sideways on the day. It hasn't really kind of broken down. It hasn't broken out, but something to watch, right? If I look at industries, something that's open, that's green from the open, you got internet content information, you got consumer electronics, Some stocks, some smaller ones, kind of getting a little bit of a lift. Vizio here and this is from the open, of course, right? So you guys can see there, internet content information. Let's see a bigger name that had a good day there. Snap. I saw Snap mentioned in the chat. There you guys see it. Internet content information continuing strong there as this kind of pushed up through kind of a daily high. Doesn't look too bad now as it starts to hold on. I'd look for it to hold on like kind of 1075s if it wants to make a move there towards 11 on Snap. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other stocks. It looks like Match stock getting a little bit of a lift. Pinterest as of late getting a little bit of a lift. And when Pinterest goes up, I see Snap going up. A lot of the times that does play off each other. So keep your eyes on that. All right, let's go out of technology. Let's go to basic materials. Basic materials pulling back. It was just starting to get strong. And what do you see today? Right back down. And so you got to be careful on different industries here. Building materials is the hottest area, and it's staying hot right now. So that could turn around, right? Steel was trying to make a move back up towards the upside. Still hasn't made it. It's something that I'd keep an eye out for in the long run. Like we could set alerts to see if it goes up. We'll see if X wants to come back through 24. It's nothing that's standing out to me just yet, but something I'll look for. All right, let's go to some stocks here. I did see like coal stocks that were starting to make a move back up, and just as quickly, they get stopped. So we'll keep an eye out on names like this. Gold was trying to make a move earlier today and just got washed out. So it doesn't look good here in basic materials. And what is that telling me? Well, that's telling me also that we could start seeing some decline in inflation. Of course, all these materials going lower, that's going to help certain industries get things cheaper, which could bring inflation down, right? We'll keep an eye on it. All right, let's go to financial services. Of course, we had that banking concern yesterday where banks really took a hit. Today, they're just going sideways. I wouldn't necessarily say they're in the red. I think, overnight, they definitely pulled back. So you can still think that. But they're just kind of hanging in here. What's going to happen to like a name like JPM? Is it going to go lower through the 138s? Is something I'm keeping a very close eye on. Bank of America just recently made that leg like it wants to break here to the downside. We'll see what happens. Definitely imbalances probably starting to hit there. Definitely got a jump on volume there on Bank of America. You guys keep an eye out. We're soon going to start seeing some action coming from that Russell rebalance. We'll see what happens. All right, there in the chat. We'll get to one in the chat just mentioned right now. Zippity, I see you out there, man. Just hold that one. That was my best trade today. We'll talk a little bit about it coming up. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other action. Already talked about Tesla. We're keeping an eye on the financial services to see if they get lower. I was taking a look at FAZ today. Did not make a nice trade there. So we'll see what happens on FAZ. I got stopped out on this one. Tried to go a little bit tight off that kind of 2060s. It just didn't work out. We'll see if the KRE goes lower. Of course, regional banks going lower right now. And I think that this is cause of concern because you could see some more regional banks kind of disappear. Will PacWest disappear? Honestly, I don't know. Doesn't look good. One thing that keeps me in mind is like, if I looked at Charles Schwab, this doesn't look any better either. So I don't know about the banking concern actually going away. It's just more taking a pause, I think. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look outside of the financial services. We're moving on to healthcare. Healthcare moving back down here and starting to get cut after it's just starting to lift, right? We were seeing drug manufacturers get a little bit of a lift. Healthcare plans get a little bit of a lift. Today, it all kind of just came to a pause. So that's what I'd say about healthcare. It doesn't mean that it's broken, but it is pulling back here to that 9 EMA. Let's see if tomorrow we can have a nice day here. I was looking to see if Merck could continue. You guys can see that one having a good time right now, up there towards 114. I'm just glad at least I mentioned this one around the 110s. I wasn't able to take this trade, and maybe it should have been the better one than AbbVie. But you can see here, nice little break. Now really starting to get some strength. This could be right back up to 116 and maybe 120. So Merck, really nice turn there off the 110s, starting to go higher. I'll keep an eye out on that one. And Lilly to maybe just continue ripping. This one, it's a complete monster that I missed at the 330s. Still mad about it, but it keeps going. All right, we'll keep going. Outside of healthcare, we can take a look at all those names, but there's not much there going on. Energy continuing lower also. So it looks like the energy trade lately, it just looks broken. Just look at the XLE. This looks like it wants to fall off. It's right back down here. We'll look to see if it can continue going lower. Of course, I'll watch out to see if there's any swings in mentions of oil. But for right now, it does look like it wants to crack. How's Oxy doing today? Ooh, down to 56. Will Warren save Occidental Petroleum? That's one thing I'm calling out. We'll see it. I don't think he's going to do it this time. I think he's going to maybe let it go down. Maybe it goes to like 50 and then he buys. Would make sense for me. But then again, I'm not Warren Buffett, right? All right, let's keep going, team. Let's see what else is going on in the market. I'm going to the Qs right now to take a peek, see if we're starting to come right back down. It looks like we are starting to come right back down. So we could take a look at the SQQQs for a little bit of a scalp trade, or maybe like a ballsy NVIDIA short. I tried one earlier today for an NVIDIA. I just did it with like small share size. I got stopped out, man. It's a tough trade. I don't think I'm going to go after NVIDIA. Maybe I'd go after a little bit of Tesla here towards the close, but you just got to keep it really tight if you go after Tesla, right? It's right now, it would be like kind of like a dollar trade and just risking off of like 257 here. But man, Tesla makes a little move of $1 in an instant almost. So just be careful out there. We'll look to see if Tesla goes lower here through the 256, or does it make a bounce there right back towards 258? We'll see what happens. Not even Jimmy Buffett. Oh, hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Margaritaville, baby. Pinkies up. I know there's a margarita waiting for me somewhere. All right, Intel getting a little bit of a lift. I'm not going to go after that one. I had it earlier, right? I could go after this one, but I just don't know where the Qs are going to go right now. If I had a feeling like the Qs were coming towards the upside, yeah, I might take this Intel. It's a really nice setup here. Just I don't see the Qs doing the same thing, right? So that's where it gets a little bit complicated. If they were up here towards 364, 365, oh, I'd go with that. Why not? All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other stocks in the action here. And of course, we can take a look at my top trade of the day. Let's take a look at that, right? This is going to be on the prop account, and I'll show you guys it here. So we're going to look at Starbucks, right? Starbucks sells here at 99.34, 99.30. So I had an average there of 99.32. Let's go to Starbucks and see that chart now. Woo! Starbucks down there towards 97.87 here. So definitely nice day here. You can see here where I got short at 99.30s. The high there was around 99.80s, and it came right back down through the lows, right towards that nice little profit take. Took about 100 out there at the 98.38s, almost a full point. And I didn't get the full move, right? Like I could have got another maybe 60, 70 cents, but I'm not going to be mad about that. That was definitely a nice trade there on Starbucks. I'll keep coming after it, team. Here are the Qs looking like they want to go lower here, so just be careful out there, team. I don't know which way we're going to end here, and that's why I'm not taking so many shots, right? I could take like this Tesla shot, go lower here through the 256 off 257, but I've had a really decent day on the day, right? I don't want to push too much on a day where I just feel like I have no edge. If the edge that I have is maybe pointing to the downside, I think that's also more the fact that, you know me, I like to play some short side sometimes. All right, let's get back to the action here. We'll see if the Qs do go lower and we start to get a little bit of a breakdown here towards the end. Apple would be one stock that I'd keep an eye out for. It could guide us, right? Is this going to go lower? Going to go higher? NVIDIA, another one that I'm keeping an eye out. And you can see that starting to go lower. Will we break here? Let's find out, guys. It's 3:26. We still got almost 30 minutes here for the close. Get ready. It's about to get time to take some shots. I don't mind it. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other action. Tesla catches a few downgrades. Oh, it's been catching downgrades left and right. Maybe it eventually catches another downgrade and it's right back down there towards like below 250s. That's where it kind of gets a little bit of a battle today. I think you're almost risking off 264, where it gets a little bit difficult, especially overnight, like kind of swing action. I don't know if I want it. All right, let's keep a look here. BJ still working here, so that's not doing too bad here. I'm going to continue to watch that swing trade. It's doing well. We'll see if it can get up there to 63s and 64s. Grocery store is doing well right now. Let's take a look at what happened there. Sprouts Farms getting a little bit of a lift there. Kroger, not too bad. Man, look at this pullback in Kroger's. It was making a nice little uplift right back down here towards 46.18. Poof. What a little pullback. But it is sideways consolidation here. So a little part of me is taking a look at it here. You can see how it's just been going sideways for like 15 minutes. Pretty much almost like an hour here. We'll look to see if it comes right back up here towards like 46.25s and then makes a little bit of a push here towards the close. Would need the Qs and the SPY to catch a little bit of a lift, and it doesn't look like they're getting a lift at least right now. KMX, CarMax was strong today. They had earnings. They're staying strong. They're not breaking down. Doesn't look too bad there on CarMax. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other action. We did take a look at Starbucks. We've taken a look at some of my trades. We've taken a look at some of the industries. We can keep going with some industries. But, of course, if you guys got stocks, you guys can keep just letting them come at me. Riot, Mara, let's talk about those. Of course, we talked about how Riot was lagging a little bit of the Mara move. Mara already on the move, and you can see it up there to 1277. Riot just starting to get going here. So this is actually not a bad one to take a shot on if you feel that Bitcoin's going to get another lift. I actually don't mind this one on a kind of like a swing trade outlook. That's the way I would probably approach Riot on a swing trade, lower size, give myself some room back down into that channel. Of course, you can see here, we're trying to break through the 12, but I got to give myself room to like at least 1129. I'd give myself room towards 11 here for a nice break towards, let's say, 13 or 14. But you got to understand how to come out a name like Riot, especially on the lag, right? You also got Hut taking off there, trying to make a move through 3. This one looks good for maybe kind of like a scalp kind of look here. You can see it's trying to get there through 3. We'll look to see what happens here towards the end. I actually don't mind Riot here. You could see this one maybe take a little bit of a lift even towards the end here. So you can see that sideways action, up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3, and then I could see a little bit of a lift here. We'll see what happens there in Riot. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what happens in the Bitcoin names. How is Coinbase doing in the Bitcoin? Look at that. Nice little lift there higher, up there towards almost 62. I just can't get into this name. I don't know why, guys. I don't trust Coinbase one bit. Maybe it's because other brokerages and platforms have disappeared. So we'll see what happens. I still draw this line long term. Look at the weekly. The weekly is holding well. I mean, let's just be honest. It is holding well. Will it make a move here towards 80? We'll have to watch coin. But if it starts lifting even above this high here, 64.44s, into that kind of like the 65s, this could get moving, team. So I'm going to be watching it. Even though I don't like it, that doesn't mean I can't trade it on a breakout if it wants to get through 65. And I'm with you, Hammer. I'm with you, man. But it is what it is. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on. Jenny's saying, I like Riot as a long hold and Mara as a trade. Hey, exactly. Why not? I mean, both of them. You could trade both of them, or you could invest in them. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're talking investments on these, I think you're also talking about the future of Bitcoin, right? It needs to kind of keep going higher. It needs like kind of the coins overall to go higher. We'll find out if it gets the lift or not. How's MSTR? Haven't seen MicroStrategy in a while. It's hanging in there. Looks like it wants to keep going. I know I was looking at Avis earlier in the week. How's CAR doing, man? Did that keep going? Ooh, it's looking like it wants to. I've been keeping my eye on this one. It looks freaking strong. I don't know why, but it does look like it wants to rip. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other action in the market today, and even industrials starting to pull back. And that just gets me a little bit worried, right? If everything's going to pull back, that's where we got to be a little bit careful because we could see a lot of stocks come down pretty fast, right? And so you're seeing GE for the first time, looks like it's actually going to close a little bit away from this movement. Do we short GE? Man, this is a little bit of a call here. I've been waiting for this for a while, team. The only question is, do we front run it a little bit? Because I'd have to go off of kind of like that 105 area. But GE finally breaking down a little bit here and not making its way right back up there towards that 105. I don't know, man. This one seems interesting for a short. Just got to keep an eye on it. All right, we'll see what happens. I would want to see Honeywell kind of just break down, not get me that 200 breakout. If anything, give me a 200 breakdown, like come right back down to 190s and give me that look like Honeywell doesn't want to hold on. We'll see it. Oof, that GE. It's interesting. Let's just say that. All right, we'll see what else is going on. How did the Chinese names do today? Nope, still not bouncing. Still doesn't want to bounce. Baba, right back down. JD, right back down. Doesn't look good, at least that outlook. Let's go here towards the Qs. What are we doing now? We're just hanging in there. How's Tesla doing? Tesla cracked from that 256. Would have made a nice little move there towards 254.72. Talked about it, right? Maybe taking a shot there off the 256. Looks like we're getting some more downside action. NVIDIA looks like it wants to keep going. We'll see if we actually start getting a nice little breakdown here towards the end. Doesn't look that good there for the Qs. We'll just see if it can get back up towards the VWAP. I can see it breaking here, the 362.50s, and then maybe go into the 362 spot. But who knows, right? Who knows here towards the end. All right, let's see what else is going on. India had a GE announcement yesterday. No, I don't think it was too much of a lift. The big thing there is it could be just kind of sell the news. I mean, this has been going up for I think 6 months, right? I mean, since January, pretty much, this started really kind of making a big up move. We're talking almost 6 months to the upside. Will it pull back? I mean, this action doesn't look the strongest action, right? Man, I'm telling you, if I can get a little lift here, I'll take a shot there on GE. It's just a harder one here to short, right? We'll see what happens there. If it comes right back down towards 102.60s here towards the close, as the Qs, what will they do? Will they make an uplift here? It could. It could. Did you guys see how the action was this morning compared to yesterday? We talked a little bit about this yesterday, how we were coming here yesterday, and I'm going to put you guys around, let's say 3 o'clock, right? Right around 3 o'clock, we were seeing this Qs kind of going higher. And I talked about it. Was this kind of a little bit of a bull, kind of a bear trap, right? Where you're getting these bulls to come back. They think the market's going to kind of rip right back. Of course, everyone was kind of in the short mood yesterday. And I talked about it. Would we get some downside action overnight and a little bit of just a hot lower, right? Well, there it goes. Exactly what happened this morning. And then we got that little bit of a leak and we got a little bit of a test there at the open and have been going sideways. So a little part of me is thinking that, hey, at the end of the day, that little pop went right back to resistance, but rejected that move higher, right? That's this move back up above the 365. So that's down 1, up 1, down 2, up 2, down 3. It could make a little bit of an up move, but eventually I see it kind of just slowly working its way for a 362 breakdown. We'll see it. Back above 365, I think the Qs look great. Back below 362, and it could be another takedown. We'll have to keep watching. All right, time will tell. Time will tell, Richard. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Utilities, look at that. Turnaround on utilities today. Another way you can look at this is the XLU. Look at that. Ugly. That was a hard turnaround to the downside. Stocks like Duke taking a beating. Stocks like XEL, Excel Energy taking a beating. Nucor not Nucor, NEE, NextEra Energy taking a beating. There you guys see it. Utilities pulling back really fast. That's why I didn't want to get into this utility trade. XLU was starting to go higher, but I didn't trust it. And really quickly, back down to 65. That also shows me that things don't look the best, man. And almost every sector now into the red from the open. Technology break even here. So no sector green from the open should also tell us something to be very careful. At least for today, the breath isn't looking good, and we could see some downside action here towards the end of the market day. And the Qs are just fighting just slightly above the VWAP here. We'll look to see if they take a hit here. Do I take a trade here? You know what, guys? I don't mind it here. What do we say? We do a little bit of a QQQ short. All right, let's go to the prop trade action here. You guys will watch me do it as I do it here. All right, so I'm looking to risk about not too much here, but we can even maybe go up to like 75 or even like 100 shares here. Let me try to get it here. 85s. All right, there's the attempt there towards the 363s. All right, there I'm taking it. So we just got an attempt there. I'm short now. You guys can see it here. 362.95 is going to hold off the 363 level. The exact level is 363.19. So we can just do it like this so that you guys can see it a little bit easier, right? Especially on a prop account, I don't mind doing this. We'll just set the stop here to just make sure that we protect ourselves. But 363, and we said 19, so let's just do 20 here to make it easier, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hit the stop here so you guys can see the stop right on the chart, right? There you guys see it. We'll see if we get a downside action move right back towards that 362.20s here. Any move above that 363 kind of 19 high here, I want to get out. So we'll see what happens here if we get this downside turn in the Qs. Let's go to the 1 minute here. Maybe take a look a little bit closer so you guys can see exactly where I got in there. And let's see the action here as it comes towards the end. Of course, this is Trade the Pool. You guys can check this out. I have the link right there in the description. What's on my diet? Nothing, baby. Pure protein, baby. It's Friday. Let's go. Pinkies up. And it's going to be a red day. Let's see. All right. I like how it went up through that 363 and rejected it. I really wouldn't want to even see it get back through that 363. I want to see this 5 minute candle make now a downside action move and start to hold that as kind of a little bit of resistance. Any move above that could get that pressure right back up, right? And stocks could just push higher. We'll see what happens here. All right, what else is going on in the chat? Let's zero DTE work, dude. Let the zero DTEs work. I mean, I'll take a little shot, right? We'll see what happens. There it goes. A little bit of downside action at 362.80s. Will we get that downside action through the 362.50s? Definitely we'll take some profit if I get the 362 right on the dot, right? If we can get a little bit like, move here like $100, why not take it, right? Let's see what happens here. See if we can make a little bit of some money. Money. Let's see it, guys. Will the dark side come in here? Sound the rally. Chewbacca somewhere out there. We'll see what happens here, team. And like always, guys, just be careful. This is not for you guys to copycat trade. This is just to show you guys how I go about things. And I want to show you guys literally from my mentality of how I do it. And I hope that you guys enjoy that. So do me the favor, hit the thumbs up if you guys enjoy that action. Now let's see what happens, right? You took a good shot. That's all you can do. And that's what we do as traders, right? We never know if something's going to go in the green. The only thing we can do is kind of battle. So here you guys see it. I'm up about almost $30 here. Can we break the 362.50? If we break 362.50, I can start taking at least some profits and maybe just take about half of it out there and look for it to go a little bit lower, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get ready for that. I need to cancel my working order here. Boom, canceling that, getting ready for that little break here. And if anything, going to go ahead and set a little bit of a limit order ready for that. So with 362.50, let's see if we can break that. I'll take a little bit of profit there. and then look for it to keep going lower, right? Just work it down, right? So now you guys see the limits out there. We'll see if we get a little bit of a break through that support and then just take that profit. We'll find out, guys. I'm just going to keep a watch on it. Any move back up into the 90s, and I got to do what? Got to go back into preservation mode. So get that ready to go. 100. So we got to do 363.20s, right? There you go. It's already ready to go. If I need to just cancel this working one and get right back into a stop order to prefer protection, right? I think that's the important thing here. Always know which way you're going. We'll see what happens here. Of course, this is the last 15 minutes of the market, so really anything could happen, but I'm taking a little bit of a shot here. We'll find out. All right, we're right back into the 90s here. So just for right now purposes, I'm going to cancel that order at 362. Get ready if I need to get the stop order out there back through 363. So that's what's important, right? Always keeping what? Preservation, right? That's the most important thing whenever I take a day trade or any type of trade is always capital preservation. Know my risk, know my reward. In this case, let's just talk about it really quickly. So 362.95 with a 20 out. What is that? We're talking about 25 cents, right? But I'm looking to go ahead and make about $1 on the top gains there. That's not too bad. That's a 4-to-1 outlook if I took all the trade down there. So I'm looking at kind of like a 2-to-1 at 362.50 and then a 3-to-1 outlook down to that 362 if I would take half out there. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get back to the market. I'll keep looking at the cues here. We'll see what happens if I do get stopped out. I'm going to take a little bit of a peek here at some other names, right? Tesla at 255. That one looked like it worked out for a little bit here. We'll see what happens in NVIDIA. Can that go lower, right? That's one that I'm definitely keeping an eye out here towards the end. And Apple. Will Apple drive higher? That could flip around the market, right? We know how Apple loves to drive the market. Microsoft trying to make a little bit of a bounce here at VWAP. Intel, that move that we were looking at earlier, it did go back up against that trend line. Now turning right back here. We'll see what happens. Will the Qs stop me out? They're pretty close here. They're trying to get up into the 363s. We'll look to see if it gets a little bit of a pop here into the 363.20 area. We went down there really close to 362.60s. I was 10 cents off the first profit take there, team. So just goes to show you how close you can get there. And sometimes you get a little greedy, right? We'll see what happens here. Taking a shot there. If it gets through the 363.11, that's when I think we could get that little pop there to 363.20s. Right there, it hits 363.11, and then it pulls right back off of it. Let's see if it actually goes above that 363.11 and takes it out. I'll show you guys that right now. I'll give you guys the outlook here so you guys can see it literally execute if it stops me out there. Dun, dun, dun. What's going to happen here, guys? What's going to happen? Am I going to get hit here? Let's find out, team. Well, I pay up some price here. Let's see it. I've had a decent day today. I took a shot there, but like always, a measured shot. That's what matters, team. All right, we'll see what other names are coming down here. What about Starbucks here? How's that doing? That's definitely at 98.18, bouncing a little bit. We'll see what happens there. All right, also taking a look at Apple to see if that one's going to make an up move. It's just kind of hanging in there right now. IWM, what's going on with IWM here? Looks like it's getting a lot of volume. Looks like it's trying to make a little bit of an up move here. We'll find out what happens. All right, let's get back to the market. Still not getting hit there, but just hanging out there, right? I'm about a couple cents of getting hit there. It might hit me here. Let's see it. Oh, is it going to hit me? No, it doesn't hit me. It comes right back towards 363. Will we get a turnaround through that candle? There you go. Now it's back to a red candle. So that makes me feel a little bit better here that it's going red to green to red. Now, if it goes back into the green, that's when it feels like it's almost going to stop me out. But if this can close red, we can maybe come right back to the VWAP, come right back towards 362.80s, that kind of area right around here. Let's see if we come back to that level. All right, I'm going to keep going through some other names here. I got a flag. What do you got a flag on? My son bought a ton of NVIDIA short. There you go. Oh, the NVDS style. Ooh. I can't blame you. That could be a way that we could swing trade this, right? I mean, it's a good way to go about it, I think, because you can really risk a little bit here and take a little bit bigger size, right? That's not a bad way to look at it, honestly. I don't mind that trade at all because at least you have it really measured, right? Like I could take a swing trade here. Normally, if I'm going to risk only like 31 cents, that's not too bad. You can risk off like kind of the $8 level, look for the pop back towards 9.50. You just got to know how to understand the risk to reward here, I think, especially on this type of trade. But can it work out? Yeah, it could. All right, we'll see what else. If it does make a lift here, Q's just not moving at all there. It went right back down, right back up. So just playing around with us here. It might just stop me out on the upside move, but not much going on here. It's 347 here, especially if it gets to 355. I'll just take the trade off, green or not. But I'm looking to see at least to see if this candle can close red. That's going to be 350. We'll see what happens in 2 minutes here. If I get stopped out. That's what I feel like it's going to take here. It's this next 2 minutes. I'll find out. Marriott pulling back a little bit here, and hotels pulling back, of course. Hilton pulling back. What about Carnival Cruise Lines? It was so strong. Will this hang on? It's hanging on by a thread right now. This is one to keep an eye out for, guys, especially next week. I think they're actually due to report on Monday. So keep an eye out for this one, guys. This is going to be really interesting. They do report on Monday. I want to give you guys a little bit of an outlook for next week. So Monday, you'll get CCL's earnings. We'll find out whether the post-pandemic travel and entertainment boom can continue. This is one that could take a massive hit or go higher. That's the hard part. It could be right back down to 14, though. Who knows? Honestly, I can't take a shot on earnings. I hate taking shots on earnings, but definitely CCL earnings on Monday. Stay tuned for that. Then on Tuesday, you get what? Walgreens Alliance earnings. We'll see what happens there. It's a 6% dividend, this stock, but doesn't look good by any means. I think this could go lower, of course, but I don't know much about pharmaceutical retailers, so I'm not going to act like I'm the biggest have the biggest edge here, but I wouldn't take a bet on earnings anyways. So it'll be something that I'll look at. If I see it get hit, maybe we can go after it with some other names. You guys remember Rite Aid when it was getting a lift up? This is looking ugly now. We'll see what happens. On Wednesday, we get General Mills and Micron to announce their earnings. So stay tuned for this. Will this start turning around the tech trade? I mean, Micron's pretty low here. It's almost back towards the 50 moving average. So, ooh, what is going on? See, we're getting a little action here. Let's get to it. All right, there we go to 362. Oh, there's the 50s here. I'm going to look to take some profits here. Let's see if I can get a little bit. Man, this is fast action here. All right, we're in the 60s. We're in the 60s. All right, took a little bit off there. I took 50 shares there because I was like, you know what? This is just too much for me. It's shaking my heart a little bit. Let's see if this can go a little lower. Now we're in the 50s. We hit the 50s for just a second here. So from now on, what we can do is I can set a stop break even to see if this can go lower for the end of the day. So don't want this to come back through my entry, but this could get there to the 362s. There we go. Now we're into the 362 30s. Can we get to the 362 all the way? Maybe 360. Let me see if we can get a little lower. Let's go to the 1 minute here. Stay on with the movement because the Qs love to make this little rip higher right back. I've seen this happen plenty of times. So I'm going to keep a really close eye on it here. What happens is volume gets filled on that. So that's what I'm going to be worried about here, especially back through my entry. I won't let it get back through my entry. That's 362.95. I'm just waiting to see if I can get a little bit more profits here on the Qs. Let's see if we get another move down here. Rejects 362, like the VWAP around like 80s. Don't want to even see a move back above this 80s here. So I'll put a little sideline there for us to kind of take a look at it. This is about the 85 spot right there. We'll see what happens here, guys. Trying to take a shot there. The shakeout. We'll see what happens, Hammer. Definitely, we got a little bit of some volume there. Did the IWM come back? There it comes back towards 88. We're almost getting out of here. 92s, I'm out, guys. I'm not going to take the shot there. It's already kind of coming up here. It's a little bit too much risk there for me. For what? I already took a nice little gain there. So nice little gain there. I'm not going to be mad on that. Took a little gain, was looking for a little bit more, but hey, we stayed in the green today, right? It looks like it. You see that little click? It went right to my entry, right back down though. Hey, that's how it's going to happen sometimes. Maybe I got a really good entry to begin with, but I'm also not going to test a big green bar that's coming back for rip, right? You got to be a little bit careful here, especially towards the end. We'll see if this comes right back down. I could get right back in it on 80 and then maybe risk off a 90 if I wanted to scalp it. But there you guys at least got to see a trade. We'll see what happens. All right, this is more than twerking versus shaking. We'll see what up, man. It's like it is, man. And you can see the Qs right back up there to 363. So you got to be careful on these types of moves. It is getting a little bit of an uplift here. And one thing that's telling me is the IWM going up. So we are getting a little bit of some spike. I'm sure this is kind of the Russell rebalance as we start to get a little bit of a push here. Just be careful. You could see some pops and then drops. There's the IWM trying to push here. And the Qs would have definitely hit me right there, guys. So took some profits versus taking a loss, right? That's where it gets a little bit difficult. But you got to be quick. Got to be nimble. All right, let's keep taking a look. What else is going on there? Let's keep seeing what some of these stocks make a move. Tesla ripping right back up there to 257. NVIDIA actually going lower here. So that's interesting to see NVIDIA go lower. Looks like we could see some real shakeup here towards the end, especially the last 7 minutes of the market. So be careful out there, team. I don't think I'll take another trade. I'll just kind of stick on to end up watching these trades. Look at BJ up there to 63 almost. Guys, I want to take maybe a little bit of profit on BJ here. It's just a quick almost 2%. I'll kind of push it. I'm going to push it a little bit more, see if I can get closer to the 64, but really nice looking move here for me in BJ. Of course, I got this from 61.91s, so almost to 63s, pretty much up over a point. Just want to see this try to keep going. Adobe's the one that might get me out, guys. I remember I said, would it come to hunt me? It's coming to hunt me, guys. I'm at 489. 34. It's coming for me, man. It's at 486. Who got Adobe going? It looks like it's coming for me, guys. I got to be careful there. It's coming real back, real quick. All right, guys, let's take a look at this action here. Let's go to the Qs. What are we getting? We're getting just a bunch of wick action here. So you guys can see it. We just came up there to the 363.20s. Now we're right back down there towards the 362.87. IWM definitely getting a little bit of a shake here. Be careful on names like that. I'll keep watch to see if some of these kind of get a little bit of a lift, but really right now, I'm not seeing much. I wanted to see kind of CXAI, but that's not doing anything. To tell you the truth, it looks dangerous out there. Q's coming right back here towards 363.11s. Adobe coming for me, man. 386, dude. It's ridiculous. This little spike right here might get me, guys. It's coming up there pretty damn fast. Up there to 487 there. Will it get me out? We'll find out. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on. Raz says he got filled on Tesla long. Oh, man. I'll pray for you, my friend. I'll pray for you. All right, we'll see what else is going on. Tesla, there's Adobe. Tesla trying to get up there towards the VWAP here. Now towards that 258 almost. That looks like a decent move. We'll see if Tesla can keep coming. It did a little squeeze right back up. That's for sure. Will it come right back down? That's where the Qs just make these little chop moves. And you can get chopped up. That's for sure. Meta going higher there. What about Apple? Ooh, Apple actually put a hard kind of red candle there. That's interesting. A lot of volume came out of Apple there. Did someone take a little profits? 700,000 shares there. A little bit of a spike there in volume. You got out good, Money Mitch? Yeah. And can you check Tesla? Yeah, I mean, Tesla's a little bit crazy, man. We'll see if that can keep going. It did reject there from around the VWAP, at least my VWAP here. It's been a crazy day, man. And I'm just going to keep going, guys. At least we made a little bit more. Keep pushing here. Going to keep trying to take it to the next level in the prop account, of course, trying to bounce back. The first one, no bueno. But hey, second prop, trying to get after a team, doing a lot better now. And there's the cues towards the end here. Doesn't look that great, but the truth is we have no idea where the market will open on Monday. And so that's why I'm not going to take too many shots here. I do see NVIDIA going lower, so we'll see what happens on that one. Adobe almost stopping me out. We'll have to find out what happens on Monday, team. That's going to do it for me. I know it's 3:57. I think I'm just going to call it a day before I take another trade here. Red light day, but doesn't mean that it's completely over, right? We got to keep watching to see what happens next week. We have on Thursday, we have Nike. Friday, Constellation Brands. Really the big day Wednesday. Micron's earnings for technologies will make a huge turn towards the upside or the downside, I feel. So keep your eyes on that. CCL on Monday. Will the traveling stocks get wrecked? Look at an Airbnb here. Doesn't look good, right? We saw Hilton. Doesn't look good. Airlines, that looks actually a little bit better. I actually made a little bit of an up move here. Airlines, man. I've been kicking myself. Definitely missed out on that run. We'll see what happens. I did take a little bit on Love. That's still hanging up here ever since I took it. We'll see if that can hang up there and get back up there towards the next level. JetBlue, even JetBlue hanging up there closer towards the 8. But CCL, RCL, and NCLH, they're really up there. CCL's report on Monday, it's going to turn those things either just another rip higher or tumble down. That's why earnings are so hard to play. It's really a flip of the coin. You never know. All right, guys, like always, stay tuned for me and more action next week. I do have an amazing interview planned for you guys. Just stick around like always. There's always more for you guys on Benzinga. Trying to make some new adjustments too. I do want to let you guys know I am going to be looking to somewhat change up this show, start swing trade to a little bit different, but I'll let you guys know as we get there. That's going to be closer to July, and I'll give you guys exact insight on why. You guys hit the like. I'll see you guys like always right here on Benzinga, and be safe out there this weekend, guys. And we'll be back on Monday. Like always, the market will be waiting for us. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe out there. Be ready. Get rested. It's going to be another rough week with a lot of earnings starting to kick off on Monday.